to do for deploying OCP in Japan. Welcome.
Yes, thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Ko Ise. Let me talk about our constellation for the deploying OCP in Japan in this session. But first, I'd like to say congratulations for opening the Italy OCP certification and testing center yesterday. That is good. It should be a good opportunity to us to expand the OCP technology and policy or engineering support, something like that. And also thank you for nice chat. It's pretty good. Let me explain about just a brief of regarding our company. So our company is a data hotel. This is specialized in the data center business and the network-related business. So right now we have a total is 155 employees. This is as of April 2013. I guess right now we have more than 180 employees. And our office is located at the Shinjuku, Tokyo. And then I'm in charge of the chief technical architect of the data hotel. And also I'm in charge of the open, some kind of the role for the open community in Japan. For example, of course, I'm a member of the community of the OCP Japan, of course. And also I'm a general advisor of the cloud utilization promotion agency. This agency is trying to expand the cloud computing technology or engineering or culture or deployment or business model for the Japanese people. And we is coordinating about a users group or event or seminar regarding the cloud computing technology. And also I'm chairman of the Open Cloud Demonstration, the Open Cloud Demonstration Experiments Task Force. This task force is doing the estimation and evaluating the open source basis cloud infrastructure application like OpenStack and CloudStack. And sometimes we are evaluating the storage solution open source basis like Swift or GlassIPS or React. And monitoring system like Zabbix. And management tool like Scalar. So each implementation has their own users group. But we have to integrate all of that kind of the open basis implementation into the one cloud system. So we are working on variety kind of the open basis cloud application to evaluate and estimate and report it for the cloud market. And next, I'm in charge of the section G for the kind of the education community. The purpose is providing a good opportunity to configure or install the layout network or server or cloud environment for the students. And we providing that kind of the experiment, and also we do kind of the competition. For example, network scale competition or cloud programming scale competition for the students. Something like that. And then today I'd like to talk about consideration or our trying for the deployment. How can we deploy the OCP data center in Japan as just for example? And OCP technology or OCP engineering include a lot of the categories. For example, motherboard or CPU or network interface or network switch, and also the power supply unit or power supply equipment and cooling system, air conditioning system. And at first, we are concentrated to the environment of the rocks, around the rocks. That means the cooling system or building construction. And then in the meantime, we have a kind of northern island named Hokkaido in Japan. Do you know the Hokkaido? Okay. Hokkaido is right here. It's located at the north side of Japan. And we have a city, the Bibai city in Hokkaido, just for example. And Bibai city is not so big city. They have totally 25,000 people in the city. So that's not so big city. And this Bibai city has heavy snow every year. And as you know, that in Hokkaido, almost of the city has snow in the winter season. But Bibai is a heavy snowfall region. So they had a lot of the snow, and then the government of the Bibai had to remove this snow every day. And they have to spend the money, but $1 million every season. It's huge. It's maybe a big damage for the government. And also this snow, they have to toss it. They have to bring this snow to the river or sea or mountain or hill or field with nobody. They have to toss it, just toss it. And then also they spend the money, $1 million every year. But snow is just a waste. That's sad. So Bibai people is thinking, try to reuse these waste snow for a long time. And then the Bibai is using this snow for their kind of the industry, mainly the cooling system for over 20 years. So right now that they have kind of the storage to keep the agricultural crops like rice or vegetables or some kind of something like that. Right here is no storage, and the right side picture shows the storage of rice. And the main thing to keep the rice in the cooling storage for 1 year or 2 years or 3 years. Amazing thing, the taste of the rice can be better. And then the price can be higher. That's strange. So new rice, for example, new rice is $10. The 3 years ago rice, the $30. The price can be higher because the taste can be better and sweet, and I don't really tell. But in the market, this is fact. The old rice is better than the new rice. Just for example. And then in Hokkaido, except for Bibai, they have a lot of the snow cooling deployments. For example, 2008, Japan had a G8 summit. At that time, they are using the snow cooling system for the International Media Center building. And also, right now, since 2010, you know, the new Chitose Airport, which is the most big airport in Hokkaido, they are also using the snow cooling system for the airport terminal building. And also, as I said, in Hokkaido, they have a lot of experience to use the snow cooling system for the storage. And then the Bibai is thinking, or does they have any other utilization of the snow energy as an industry? can do it or not, and they finish. This is it. No, actually, yeah, this is IT, information technology. And then they started projects. They started a project including the data center. So basically, they had a snow cooling system experiment, and they tried to apply this technology for the IT industry, like data center. So, for example, data center, when data center is operating, data center generates a lot of heat. And in the winter, for example. So other industry, for example, fish factory or plant factory, need heat in the winter. Then these plants can use waste heat from the data center. And in the winter season, the government have to remove the snow from the city. And then if they keep this snow on the ground, and in the summertime, the data center and the other factory can use this snow cooling energy. So this is really good thing, because then the government have to spend the money every year, $1 million. But before, this $1 million is just budget. But to use the snow cooling energy for the data center, the $1 million became investment for the data center industry. That's pretty good. And then, actually, the Viva has no experience to operate the data center. So we try to consulting or recommend how you have to build the data center and how you should use cooling energy for the data center or racks. And we recommended you have to introduce the OCP style data center, because OCP style data center is high efficient data center right now, including the power supply, equipment, and the cooling system, and servers and racks. So there are two kinds of the cooling type. The one of them is open cycle snow cooling. Open cycle means that we're gonna intake the outside air for the cooling and exhaust the warm air to the outside. And this type is really simple. We don't need a lot of the equipment to cooling for the cooling system. We can use just outside air, and we can exhaust the warm air to the outside. So just simple. Only we have to do the air condition, control the air condition, the humidity or dust or any kind of the factors. So we need only the air conditioning system. And then another one is closed cycle snow cooling system. In this system, the no air exchange between the inside data center and the outside data center. The air should circulate inside of the data center. And we providing just cool water for the cooling coil. This is the good point is we don't have a huge air conditioning system, because the air is same anytime. But we have to build a kind of the outside external cooling system. It needs money. So which is better? It depends on the condition of the air, or purpose, or size of the data center, something like that. So you can choose whichever. And then the important thing, how much snow do we need for a lab a day? For example, when we are operating the 10 kVA wax and utilization, we assume utilization is 50%. And then the heat energy became the 10 kWh and 0.5, 50%, and 24 hours. So totally, one rack generates 120 kWh energy. And then the 1 ton of snow, 1 ton, 1,000 kilograms, snow has 80 megacalories as a sensible heat, and 20 megacalories as latent heat. And totally, the 1 ton snow has 100 megacalories. It's equivalent to the 116 kilowatt-hour. So when we want to cool our rack day, that we need almost 1 ton snow. Okay. The question is, how much snow totally do we need for our data center? It depends on how many racks we have and how many days we have to cool using snow. For example, this is the temperature and humidity diagram in Tokyo City. So each point is hourly data. So normally we are using the 25 degrees intake air for cooling, and server rack exhaust 35 degrees. It depends on the server specification, because normally this 25 intake and 35 exhaust it's okay. It depends on the server specification or characters. So if the outside air is over than the 25 degrees, we have to cool using snow. And in Tokyo, we have a lot of hours. Basically, I have to count each point, how many hours to get how many hours, but I can't. So instead of that, for example, Tokyo has a totally 74 days in the year. The temperature, average temperature is over 25 degrees. So at least we have to cool using snow for these 34 days. Too much. We need too much snow. But in the case of Yamza is a neighbor city of the Dubai. In the case of Dubai, we have few days. The average temperature is 25 degrees. The average temperature, we have a totally 12, just only 12 days in the Dubai. The average temperature is over 25 degrees. So just 12 days in the year, we have to cool using snow. And then, how much snow do we need for a rack in the year? Just 12 days. So we need totally 12 tons of snow for each rack. And in the meantime, the Dubai has totally 78,000 tons in the winter season every year. So that means Dubai can cool totally 6,500 racks with only snow, without any power consumption cooling system or any other chemical something or like that. The 6,500 racks is enough or not. I'm not sure. It depends on the business size or purpose or such kind of factors. But if you think the 6,000 is not enough, don't worry. Dubai had additionally 154,000 tons from around the city, outside of Dubai city. So eventually, the Dubai can cool the totally additionally 12,800 racks Total is almost I guess 20,000 racks. 20,000 racks should be enough for all of the industry, isn't it? Yeah, so based on these considerations, we try to design the very efficient data center for the device city. For example, like this. This is one of our design of the data center. 20 large unit basis data center. I'm sorry, some of the word is in Japanese. Okay. So we can put this unit data center, unit basis on demand if you need it. And this is a top of view. And this left side is mechanical space, including the power supply equipment or air conditioning system or cooling system or something like that. And right side is rack space. This is completely separate, isolated cold air and hot air. This picture is better. Yeah. Then this center is C-type dome shape because of the strength for the snow or the Hokkaido environment. This C-type dome style data center is good point. We don't have any column inside of the data center, so we can use all of spaces inside of the data center, and the construction cost is really cheap. This is a standard. We can use a standard material for this shape. And we have a cold eye and a kind of the void space to mix the warm air and cold air. And here is the outside view. We have air intake, the also side of the data center. Make sense? And we have exhaust pipe the top of the data center like this. This is just one of the examples of our design based on the OCT policy, the high efficiency data center. And here is a grand design picture. The device has really wide spaces in the city. Almost of the Hokkaido city has really wide spaces because of the people is small. People is really small. So here is a kind of the plan of the data center campus in B5. You can see that the three white square is snow hill, and some kind of a crown. The building is the data center. But I think that you cannot imagine how large this data center campus. So I will zoom in. Yeah, this is curve. And next square is a kind of the office building, and upper side the building is an energy building, and the down square, the square is a snow hill, like here. You can see that. Yeah. This is sample. This is just example. And then the last year we finished this kind of the basement design for the data center, which is using the snow cooling energy in the device. And then after that, we have to thinking about or consider the inside of data center. That means the server, switches, racks, power supply, rack basis power supply, or storage or something like that. And then right now we are these couple months we are getting some kind of a program. So that is which is OCP solved. Because, and I tried to contact with OCP manufacturers in Taiwan, and I would like to purchase and I'd like to have a quotation of the OCP server. And many kind of the manufacturer gave the quotation, but the configuration and the server model is we never find that in the OCP website. So as far as we know, the OCP website, OCP server is like this in the OCP website. We can download it, the PDF file or any kind of documentation from the OCP website. But each vendor is developing their own OCP server. It's just a little bit different, different from the OCP server, which is indicated at the OCP website. So, and also we don't have enough document, such kind of newer version or the newest, latest version of the OCP site, OCP servers. Because we don't know that such kind of the latest servers or configuration and detail. And unfortunately, nobody knows except for developer and the customer. The customer means probably the request to develop systems. For example, Facebook or Google or Baidu or Alibaba. They know about the detail of the server specification because they requested it, they designed, they requested it, and developer is making according to such kind of requirement. But other guy, like us, doesn't know about the detail of the server and any kind of components. And also, no person between developer and us. Probably almost of the manufacturer has a kind of a business partner or agent for example, Japan or any other country, but they are business partner of or agent of the manufacturer's product, not the OCP specialized. So they can explain about their product, but they cannot explain or integrate with other components of the OCP. So we are confused, really confused. Which is OCP server, which is not OCP server. What kind of differences between the products? It's really hard to understand and get the correct information. And after that, we have to make it clear which point is OCP compliant of every product which was proposed by the many manufacturers in Thailand. I don't care. I don't think that every product should be compliant by the OCP. I don't think so. Something is enhancement. Something might be enhancement. Something is compliant under the OCP specification. I can understand that. And also the fit here is for fit component. Because of the, in the OCP formal site, we have only for example, the cold hard disk storage product. But we can't see the SSD storage product. But already the manufacturer has it. Probably some guy requested to make it. But for us, we don't know about such kind of the newest version or latest project, and for which purpose and which components. So we would like to make it clear, such kind of the latest information or update. And also we would like to know which condition is needed. How can we do? How should we do to purchase or get or integrate the OCP components. This is really tough for us right now. So these couple of months, we are really struggling to get the OCP gears from the manufacturer. With, of course, price. Because in our understanding, the OCP data center is high efficient data. That means high performance and low cost, and also the low power consumption. Low cost means the low price of the gear. But actually, as far as I know, not so cost effective. But I guess it might be highest model. It must be highest model which the manufacturer recommended me. But right now we are trying to build just the POC OCP rack, like Italy's certification center. We don't need the highest model. So, but probably the manufacturer recommended us the highest model. It's really expensive, amazing. So the key, we think that key is Italy OCP certification center because every manufacturer will take a certificate. At that time, every manufacturer sends their product to the Italy, and the Italy will test it. So then Italy can have the feature or any kind of the component the product has or such kind of the minimum information Italy must have. So just we can ask the Italy what kind of product you have which also support the minimum OCP requirement. That is simple because if Italy cannot have such kind of the information, we have to contact each manufacturer every day for everything. So fortunately, I could visit Taiwan twice in this year, and I had a meeting with the manufacturer people, including engineer people. At that time, I can understand what kind of differences between these products and what kind of purpose this product is fit. But I guess it is not true. Everybody can do that in Japanese people. It is impossible to visit every manufacturer and have a meeting and check the product detail. It's impossible. So if the Italy certification center can handle that kind of the information integrally, it's really helpful for us. So, and also that we need a good activities of OCP APAC because of the, a lot of the community of APAC is trying to evaluate or estimate or testing OCP here, we can share such kind of information. So it is really good because we can all of the products as a POC. We can't. So each community, if each community is evaluating the different kind of the product, if we can share such kind of information, it is really helpful and useful to decide what kind of the product we have to purchase, I guess. And also after that, we need a good, really strong cooperation with OCP Taiwan and OCP Japan, of course, to build the POC plant or test or share information or something like that. So anyway, we expect the activity of the OCP APAC and also the Italy's work of the certification center for further our business or engineering. So I can say all these work yet to come after that. So we would like to have a close relationship with the APAC community and Italy and OCP Thailand after that to make a good business or good industry and a good marketplace after that. Okay, thank you. That's all what I want to talk about in this session. Thank you. Thank you.
So now I would like to invite the next speaker.
Okay.